And hostel facilities under the Kayayei Empowerment Project have been positioned in different parts of Accra and Kumasi. So far, one has been completed and commissioned for use at Madina. We'll hear from the beneficiaries shortly, but listen to Kofi Japan, CEO of the YEA, the agency which is leading the implementation of the project on the objective of it.
Effort between state bodies, private sectors, and civil society organizations is designed to uplift, empower, and provide solutions for our Kayayeis. Through the Kayayei Empowerment Program, we will provide decent accommodation and equip these women with vital skills, enabling them to secure dignified jobs and support their families. Our program adopts an extensive recruitment process, offering training in crucial skills such as baking, beading, soap making, and many more. Additionally, we cover essential soft skills like personal health care and financial literacy to ensure holistic development.
We can now listen to some Kayayei expressing gratitude to Dr. Bawumia while endorsing his Breaking the Eight agenda.
2024, it is possible. Bawumia, we are so happy because you try a lot. When we come here, you will find a place for us to sleep and do work. Anybody who wants to learn any work, you can learn. So we are so happy for you. God bless you. Thank you so much. We really have to appreciate for you, Bawumia. Thank you so much. Don't worry, this 2025 you go win by the grace of God.
Almost 300 people. So almost never 300 crowd pay to me Siansa and Wejuma Wayna. About mine, so Aswati.
Oh, we are just saying that, oh, thank you for Bawumia for us because she helped us. We also suffer for this in Kaya. If not, like we not just get money and take care of ourselves.
We thank Bawumia for what he has done for us. So we thank him because Kayayei is not easy for us to be carrying it every day. And we thank her, we thank him.
Meanwhile, the MPP flag bearer, Dr. Bawumia, said, despite the skepticism and criticisms by the pessimists, he knew the policy was going to be possible.
When I made this promise on behalf of government, there were many who thought it was not a realistic promise. They thought it was not possible. They said it was a 419 scheme. But I knew that inshallah, it was possible for us to do it. We had COVID in 2020, and we had to recover from it. And so what we are doing for Kayayei today is part of a whole program of activity of our government to help the poor and the vulnerable. And so you will see why it gives me so much pleasure to be with you today at the launch of the Kayayei Empowerment Program. We have proven the naysayers wrong. I am honored to be part of this initiative, which is dedicated to empowering headquarters and offering transitional job pathways and enhancing their socio-economic status.
The main objective of this Kayayei Empowerment Project is to empower headquarters across the country with technical and vocational education and training. The program aims to train 5,000 girls between May and November 2024, 600 Kayayei per cohort each month. The program will provide practical skills and knowledge to participants, preparing them for specific trades and occupations. Reporting for Joy News, Samuel Mbura.
Welcome back on the AM show. It's time now for us to interrogate this Kayayei Empowerment Program that was launched yesterday. And in fact, all the major newspapers this morning are carrying it as their top stories. And I must say that this, like the lady we just watched said, that this has come to help them. Some of these people travel from so many parts of the northern region to see greener pastures, either for education, to feed their family back at home for various reasons. I'll be joined for details on this program and then also the feasibility, discuss how sustainable it is. First by my colleague Samuel Mbura, who's in the studio with me. Samuel, it's good to see you. But before we come to Samuel, I will have you know that we'll also be joined in the course of the conversation by Alexis Daniku, who's Executive Director for Center for Development Initiatives, with over a decade experience in the sector and social welfare issues by profession. We'll also be joined by Joyce Lanyo, who is a Country Director, International Child Development Program. Samuel, it's good to see you, like I said.
Good to see you, Sweetie.
So this Kayayei development program, we understand that it is to shelter these Kayayeis, head porters, and also train them. But let's look at the data that speaks to the real situation on the ground before we talk about the actual issue. So it turns out, according to UNFP, that is the United Nations Food Program, and the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection, that 109,100 people are head porters in the country as it stands now. This means that, an estimated 109,100 people have traveled from various parts of the country, sometimes even from Togo and neighboring countries, to come and see greener pastures here by carrying load for markets in the market. Now, if you want to focus on Greater Accra and Ashanti, which are where the major cities where these people come to, in Greater Accra alone, there are about 85,600 head porters. And in the Ashanti region, there are 22,500 of these head porters, most of them women, females. And that tells you that this facility, this empowerment program, is actually a step in the right direction. If you build something that can house and train or develop the skills of 109,000 people, then that's something to be applauded. Now, Samuel Mbura, what is this all about?
So we know that in 2019, the Vice President, Dr. Bawumia, made a pledge or a promise on behalf of government that if elected for the 2020 elections, they would ensure that they implement policies that will be tailored towards at least reducing or alleviating poverty, if not eradicating. And this Kayayei project was one of them. So the main idea was to get decent accommodation for them in strategic areas, just like the highly populated cities like Accra, Kumasi. There's also one in the Bono East region as well. So what they seek to do is to get them into the accommodation, get them trained, give them the required skills to make them employable and also make them skillful, so that at the end there'll be an exit plan, so that when they leave these training centers, they will not go back to be head porters, but have their own jobs doing or being employed by others. That's why some of them will be trained in bakery, bees making, and other professionals in the informal sector that you can think about. So at the moment, they are targeting 5,000 head porters, mostly girls. And it is between now to that of November 2024. So it is going to be in cohorts. So each cohorts come every month. So 300 cohorts per each month. So if you go to the facility, for instance, that has been commissioned in Madina, for instance, in which was captured in the report, it is a 3-story building. It has the classroom facilities, it has a sick bay, it has the hostel facilities available as well. So in the same structure, from your hostel to your classroom, for you to go through the training. The implementing body on this particular project is the YEA, that's the Youth Entrepreneurial Agency. So they are going to ensure that this is implemented under their poverty eradication projects. Right. Now,
most of the main challenges that these head porters face is accommodation. They sleep in makeshift structures that poses serious health risk on their life. So how many facilities are there, and what is the plan for more?
All right. So the main plan is to have about 14 of them in Accra and Kumasi. Okay. In Accra, for instance, the strategic areas are Agbogbloshie, Madina, and Ashaman. Madina one has been commissioned. The other ones are still under construction. We are also told that the Kumasi one is also in progress. Right. So in all, they should have 14 of them constructed and housing these Kayayei to train them. They'll also be given some stipends as well. That'll be paid by the YEA. So this project is funded by the District Assembly Common Fund.
Okay.
They also have supporters from the Ghana Enterprise Agency. They have the Technical and Vocational Ghana TVET services. Even
the Youth Employment Agency, I'm sure they are spearheading.
Yeah, that's the implementing body on this particular project. We also have Father Campbell. We know he has been into philanthropic works and as well as Get Fund. So these state institutions and private institutions are coming together to ensure that this project is realized to the benefit of the Kayayei and also targeting the SDGs on poverty eradication in the country.
Before I let you go, Samuel, what is the plan to actually intake these headquarters? Do you have to register? Are they selecting them at random? And when you go in, what's the duration that you stay? What determines if you are good enough to get out? What is the plan there?
Exactly. So yesterday at the launch, for instance, there were NIA officials. They'll be joining us subsequently, but we have the National Health Insurance Authority and all those who matter. They come. When you get there, they'll register you. YEA officials will register you. They'll also register you for your Ghana card, as well as the Ghana card has been synchronized with that of your health insurance. So once you have your Ghana card, you're automatically enrolled into a national health insurance scheme. So they'll go through that registration process, and after that, they'll admit you like they're admitting you into senior high school, into the hostel there. So they'll definitely do some background checks to be sure that these people are actually what? Kayayei. Not just anyone at all coming in and declaring myself, I mean, Kayayei. You are more than less seeking asylum there. So what they have to do is that they have to do thorough background checks to be sure that you are really from the Kayayei side before they can now admit you and then train you. So every month they have 300 of them. And from now till May, that is where they have the target of 5,000 Kayayei to be trained. But there's an exit plan. And that exit plan will be how they can be employable, get their own jobs and all that. So all these are in place to ensure that at least our streets gradually will not have Kayayei and then people will be unemployed and the situation in the country in terms of our economic management will not be murky.
Thank you, Samuel Mbura, for shedding light on this issue. But now let me go to my guests. First, starting with Alexis Daniku, who's Executive Director, Center for Development Initiatives. Alexis, thank you for joining the program. This initiative, I'm sure you've been following the development of the story and how it's a step in the right direction because for whatever it's worth, it takes these headquarters off the street, give them some skills, and helps them to integrate into the society without being a burden to the rest of us. How do you feel about this, first of all?
Very much for the opportunity. I feel excited as a Ghanaian. I feel excited as a social worker by training. And I feel excited as somebody who have worked in the area for more than a decade. Now, I will want to talk purely as a development practitioner and then leave out the others so that we can interrogate. If you have worked with this category of our people, you will come to realize that they face a lot of challenges, very enormous. Even the sleeping arrangement is something that you feel very, 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 very angry as a Ghanaian. Look, anything at all that will provide a relief to them is something that we should embrace as a country. So I see the opportunity to provide such a facility is something that is welcome. It's something that is in the right direction. It is part of the comprehensive nature in which we should approach the issue. Kayayei has come to stay, and let's get this deep into our system because it has become a survival strategy. It has become a poverty reduction strategy in the sense that the phenomena you will see that people come at, it is more like seasonal. People come at a particular point in time and then go back. Now, the bottom line is that we need to, we will come to that when it comes to the courses and then all that. But let me just say that this initiative is something that is welcome. We should embrace it and then now begin to interrogate the component. In fact, transitional shelters are all over the world. Even in the developed countries, transitional shelters is one of the strategies to dealing with homelessness. It is one of the strategies to dealing with streetism and then the like. That is why it is transitional. But we now need to be very careful that it doesn't become a kind of an accommodation for people who probably now think that if there is accommodation, they will come and then that is it. So I'm also happy about the components that they are looking at, the skills training. They want to do a lot of skills training. I will have the time after my colleagues have taken their bite to look at the duration of the training. We will look at the marketability of the skills that they are going to be impacted with. We will look at what is the plan, because it is not enough to train them, but you must be able to provide them with input support and monitor them to ensure that those skills are put into practice.
Okay.
It is not just about the training. So we'll go into those details. But I just want to say as an opening remark that this is welcome. This is something that as a country we should embrace. Let nobody say that, okay, let nobody say that, okay, when you put in a structure like this, it will encourage them to move from the north to the south and then all that. We have been there before. We have seen all these arguments put up. But for me, it now provides them an opportunity to have a place to lay their head and to be able to be protected against all the hazards that they go through when they are sleeping in the outside. Some of them are rape, some of them are so many things that
all right, Alexis, I have a sense of your thoughts now. Let me now go to Joyce Lanyo for her initial reactions before we get into the conversation. Joyce Lanyo, thanks for joining the conversation. I'm sure you've been following the ask to this point. What are your thoughts, though? Initial reactions. How does this come to you?
Thank you very much, and good morning to your cherished viewers. If you ask, I would just like to congratulate the Vice President for this initiative. It's a very, very important initiative, and there is this yawning gap for Kayayei, and not Kayayei alone, but marginalized girls, vulnerable girls who are also out there and are looking for some opportunities like this to improve their lives. And so in my initial comments is to say that's a well done activity, but there are a few strands that we need to consider as we go along. So in my initial thoughts, I just want to congratulate the Vice President for bringing this initiative to daylight for our Kayayei to benefit. And to say that there are other components out there that we need to consider as we go along to improve the lives of these our girls.
These are the I want to stay with you for a second. These are the components that you say we need to consider. Does it include, what are they? We know that these migrants come to Accra and Ashanti region because they're looking for greener pastures, right? Because of the economic situations in those areas. And so if there's a shelter, a place where they can come to, not permanently stay, but go there for a duration of time, get some skills, get some education so that they're employable. What are these other things we should consider? Are you saying that that's encouraging more people to migrate to the south for greener pastures, which is contributing to the overpopulation we're experiencing here in Accra and the other major cities in Ghana?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
So what are these issues that we should consider?
What I want to say is that when these girls are given the accommodation, that's not the end of the story. Okay. I understand the employment component is going to be taken care of and other issues around health. We have run a similar project that we call the Strategic Approaches to Girls Education, and then we map out these marginalized girls. We give them skills training. We talk to them about their reproductive health. We give them small literacy training, numeracy training, and then we give them something to actually top up whatever skills component they are interested in. For example, hair braiding or nails or beauty or decoration and all that. I want to say that there are similar girls, apart from the Kayayei, who are with us in the communities, who have dropped out, probably due to pregnancy, teenage pregnancy, or who have also dropped out due to the issues around poverty. We have a million number of them in our communities that we can also adopt this same strategy to help them acquire certain basic skills and then find something doing. For us, it took about just 3 months to train somebody in facials, how to deal with facials, buy a few things that they need, resources that they need to be able to do the facials, and they are out in the community helping people to do this. Nails, decoration, and all those things. But more to it, these Kayayei have children. And what are we doing to their children? Are we just giving them an accommodation to do whatever they are doing? And what package do we have for their children in these
but Joyce, this is a good start, is it not? I mean, what you're saying is futuristic. The problems that will come eventually, or problems that exist, but we're tackling it from one step to the other. So this is a great step, a great first step, is it not?
Absolutely. I congratulated the initiative and said it was a good one. But I'm also bringing in certain strands of other areas that we can be looking at. Otherwise, like you said, it's going to open the box to get more women up north or girls up north to come down to say, oh, when we come, we'll find a place to lay our head. And once you get a place to lay your head, is that the end of the story?
All right.
No.
Point made. Please hold for me. Let me go back to Alexis. Alexis, you said this Kayayei business has come to stay, obviously, because they don't seem to be going away anytime soon. Do you agree with some of the assertions that Joyce Lanyo is making about this is not the only thing we should be focusing on?
Well, I mean, yes, let me also add that as somebody of northern extraction, I know what the issues are. Look, I've said this over and over and over, that agric is the mainstay of the 3 northern regions, and now even other regions have come to add. Due to the seasonal nature of the agricultural activities, during the dry season, the women and the men as well embark on this seasonal movement down to be able to look for something so that during the farming season, they can return and augment whatever harvest they have made. So it has become a survival strategy. If they remain there, the little harvest, and sometimes due to the poor climatic conditions and all that, the harvest we all know has not been that good in recent times. Together, they will end up consuming the little that has been harvested before the next farming season. So it is a survival strategy. Now, I agree that getting them accommodation is not enough. Shelters all over, and the literature speaks volumes to that. It serves as a mobilization center, and I think that is where the people should keep their eye on. I am looking forward to see how many social workers they are going to employ or they are going to post to be part and parcel of this whole implementation. They are talking about intake. That intake of these girls can best be managed by trained social workers. And we have a lot of them in the system who are unemployed. Some of them are part of the youth employment program. I will be very happy to see them posting a lot of social workers to deal with case management of these girls.
All right, Alexis,
so that they can come out with a comprehensive program that will help to address some of the issues beyond the skills training that there. Some of them actually need to be supported to go back to school. And they are there not because they want to be there, but they are there to look for money so that they can go back to school. So we should take advantage of the resource center as a mobilization end.
All right, thank you for those insightful thoughts. I have to go back to Joyce Lanyo for final words. We have to go. Joyce, bring us home.
Thank you very much. And once again, I want to say that it's a very, very good initiative. We are very happy about it. At least we have a place for our Kayayei, and there will be some form of other practical activities to help improve their skills. But I'm also speaking on behalf of other girls out there who are not Kayayei and would want to also benefit from a certain project or program that will empower them to also have a meaningful life. And then their children, because we are child-focused, what will happen to the children? There should be something in place for the kids, because these Kayayei have children. What are we doing for the children? When they go to ply their trade, what happens to the kids downstream? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Joyce Lanyo, Country Director, ICDP. And I also spoke with Alexis Daniku, Executive Director for Center for Development Initiatives. We'll take a quick break. When we are back, we'll tell you about some interesting developments from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. It's a bazaar. We'll be right back.